Boy, I'm a nerd. Welcome to the In Your City show here at the Loot Information Station. Just getting started, and we've got a great guest coming on this hour that we're going to talk to Karen Kirk, find out more about that. And I really want to make sure that I remind everybody that coming up is the launch of my children's book.
Your children's book,
Yes, so I'm going to bore you to death with that. But Oh Olive, Oh No, a Thunderstorm was already out, and Oh No, a Big Bad Bully right here actually launches.
Just moved
Oh,
it
did
from
I
the
just
can.
move it?
You did. Put it back where you
I
at.
got it
There you
right
go.
here. Oh No, a Big Bad Bully launches November 3rd. Super excited about that. I'm sure you probably all know that we have a gorgeous, crazy bulldog named Olive, and the story is based around her. So if you'll go to Amazon on November 3rd, man, would I appreciate your support and help Olive become a bestseller. So I got that out. Want to give a big shout out to City Lifestyle Magazines. We have Chesterfield, Clayton, and St. Charles County. If you're looking to elevate your business, your brand, we would love to talk with you, because that's what we do, is share incredible stories. There's Tamara owns Clementines, and Genevieve Otto, who owns Otto Orthodontics. And then, of course, we've had, there's Rennie Knott. Lots of great people have adorned our covers, graced our covers, which, of course, Billy Bush right now with his incredible place over there, the Billy Bush Farm, the brewing and distiller, is on our October issue right now. Yep, there, I think we just saw, oh my gosh, so many great people you're showing there that have graced our covers throughout the years. But that's what we love to do. We love to share stories. We love to help brand your business and let people know about it. So Halloween is coming up.
Close. I just
And
got
man,
all our decorations up.
you did. You definitely left early this morning, went to City Lifestyle Magazines. Our magazine was one of the sponsors of the Rooted Sisters prayer breakfast. So 10 years now they've been doing this. They started out with an idea, Lisa Nichols and I think her name's Tina. I don't know her as well as I know Lisa. Got together and said, they're really strong on wanting a place for women in business to be able to talk about God and, prayer and uplift each other. And they started the Rooted Sisters. The first breakfast that they had was 300 people, which that's quite a few women to come together.
300. Wow.
Well,
especially for the first time.
For the first time. Well, it is taken off. And 10 years later, this morning, getting there at 7 o'clock in the morning, which means I had to leave at 6:30 a.m., 850 women gathered at the Ritz-Carlton for a prayer breakfast. They had an incredible speaker who came in for this, and she works for defense. She came from the White House there in Washington, D.C., and spoke to everyone. And I don't know why. I think I'm tired. I am blanking out on this woman's name, and she's incredible. So I am going to get that name when we go to break, because I didn't bring any of the information with me. I mean, she was witty, funny. You think that somebody works in that field of protecting our country would maybe not have such a sense of humor, but she was fantastic. So we enjoyed that and had friends, and Casey, who works with us, come with us and enjoy this morning. And it's pretty cool to see that many women come together that have such, a strong faith and, want to be part of something really big. And really, I think something that was really funny was the fact that you are bored enough, Gordon, to watch the Life app of me driving home
I was
today.
trying to look up her name for you.
Oh, we'll get her name for the Life app, watching me drive home, and And now you will, if you're a woman listening, you know when you get, so there's 5 of us driving home together in what I call my car,
I
taking
like how
Corinne's
she said we could
SUV.
talk about this today, and she's talking about it. There's no we. So now
No,
you know why she missed every exit. I'm like watching her going, why did she go that way?
because when you get women together and we're all talking, I'm not paying attention. We're lucky I got us home.
She's coming from Clayton. Normally you'd take I-170 all the way down to 270 and go home, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
See? So,
See?
right, and I would have went to 370.
And I'm watching her and I'm like, because I'm taking my morning walk thinking, okay, I better get home before she does. So I'm like watching her and all of a sudden she takes Highway 70. I'm like, why'd she take 70? Then she's going and I'm thinking, well, she'll get off at 270 and cut back. Nope, she missed 272 as well. And then she passes 270 and then she comes over the bridge and I'm thinking, okay, well, she'll hit 141. Nope, she missed 141 too. I'm like, where is she going? And she
So
goes,
Christian women on the way from a prayer breakfast are talking paranormal because the other day when we had the haunted souls on the show talking about all this stuff, we of course were talking about it on the way home and couldn't quit talking about it. And I couldn't pay attention to where I was driving. I was driving safe. I just wasn't paying attention where we were. I'd get overexcited and just get off at an exit. I did get us home though. We did
yes,
good.
yeah.
But seriously, you get to talking about that stuff and you're so engrossed in what you're, you know, talking about that you maybe kind of aren't paying attention to where you're going. But, I did get us there. So
She
speaking
did.
of scary movies,
Were we talking scary movies?
well, no, scary stuff.
Scary stuff.
We're talking scary stuff. And you had
Looked
the
up
movies.
the
Do you,
top 10 Halloween movies. So we're going to break them down into categories real quick.
okay.
The top 10 Halloween movies, the top 10 family-friendly Halloween movies, and the top 10 scariest horror movies ever.
Do you have a favorite scary movie?
Well, the first one that scared me was Psycho.
Oh, with the son that has she's sitting
The
up in the
Bates
window.
Motel.
Yeah, it is pretty. It's a very old. Well, they redid the movie, of
Right.
course. Do you like the old movie or the new movie better?
Oh, the old classics are always the best.
Yeah, they definitely are. That is a scary movie. I mean, he's quite crazy. So that's your favorite? Is that on the list?
Well, it's on the top 10 scariest movies.
Okay, all
So when
right.
they put the top 10 Halloween movies, I was like, okay, it's not on there. But
That's kind of bizarre.
yeah, the top 10 Halloween movies, of course, number one is what?
Halloween.
Halloween. The
Which one?
1978
The
one.
first one.
The first one,
I
right.
know the rest of them, they just kind of get ridiculous after that. The first one is by far the best. I don't know why they have to keep creating. Why don't they just make a new scary movie?
And if you notice, I want you to see if you notice something when we talk about these movies.
Okay.
Hocus Pocus was number 2, which I'm like, okay, maybe, I don't know, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Cute movie.
Beetlejuice,
Right.
it's not so, it's Halloween, but yeah, it's a Halloween movie. The Exorcist, yes.
And I was
It's
that
The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. The
classic.
Nightmare Before Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th, Scream, Ghostbusters, and A Nightmare on Elm Street are the top 10
Now,
Halloween
what I'm
movies.
noticing is there is nothing that is new. The latest movie
Exactly what
is
I was going to say.
1993, The Nightmare Before Christmas. That would be the most recent movie that made the top 10.
93.
Everything else is, yeah,
So
very
which
far
tells
back.
us Hollywood's just not doing their
Basic stuff.
job of creating good
Yeah,
movies.
they are not doing a good job. All
Now,
right.
top 10 family-friendly Halloween movies is Hocus Pocus again. It's A Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, Casper. Now, Hotel Transylvania, that was 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas, Monster House, 2006.
I don't think I've ever.
Coraline, I don't
watched
know
that.
if I know that one.
I don't think I do
It's a
either.
creepy and whimsical.
I have seen the preview for that actually, so I take that back. It's a cartoon type movie.
Halloween.
That's a
Halloween Town.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Halloween Town.
Okay.
Goosebumps, which we like Goosebumps.
I think Goosebumps.
And that was
great.
the latest, 2015. So that was the latest. And then
Paranorman. Never heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it either.
Paranormal makes me want to do that.
Now let's get to the top 10
let's
scariest movies of all time. That is 1973, The Exorcist. Hereditary. I know we've seen that, but I can't remember what
It's
it was.
very scary, extremely scary. Do remember watching that?
The
Yes.
Shining.
The Shining, that's a classic scary movie. Now
Did it
that's a
scare you?
real hotel, right?
Yes.
That because it weren't, but it's not. The movie's called The Shining, but what's the name of the hotel? We were actually reading about it the
Oh
other
my
day,
gosh, I just saw it too, and I can't remember
and
it.
I think
But we'll Google it because that's what Google's for.
now I think they do tours there, and I think people have
You
witnessed.
can actually stay in that room.
Yeah, that's just stupid. Would you ever want to stay in a room that you knew was haunted in a demonic way, like what the paranormal, the haunted souls are talking about? That there's no reason to be bringing people in and staying in places that have
The
demonic
Stanley
episodes.
Hotel.
The Stanley Hotel, that's right. Now, how old is that hotel? Does it give you information on it?
No, but we can ask.
So
How
the
old is the Stanley Hotel?
so the movie's based on The Shining's based on the Stanley Hotel.
Right.
And what you see in the movie, though, is what they say has taken place in that hotel. Is that correct? Is that
Correct.
based on loosely on true
Well,
stuff?
3 months ago, the Stanley Hotel was celebrating its 116th birthday. Thank you, Google. I don't need your input.
Wow, that's old.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else does it say about it?
What happened in room 217 at the Stanley Hotel?
Okay. Are you going to keep it a secret or are you going to
No, I hit it and it's, oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Oh, it just went away. Oh, well,
Okay.
we're not going to
You're
pull
not doing a
everybody.
very
No,
good
Google's
job.
not doing a very good job. So, room 217 at Stanley Hotel is famous for being considered haunted, primarily due to its connection to Stephen King's novel The Shining and reports of paranormal activity from guests. Guests have reported strange experiences like luggage being unpacked and items being moved, and it's often associated with the ghost of a housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, who was injured in a 1911 gas explosion in the room.
So that's not in the movie. So the
No.
movie must be false and what they're
Well,
saying
Hollywood's
happened
gonna,
then.
yeah,
Right,
Hollywood's
gets
gonna
hold
make
of it.
what happened in
Now,
room.
I wouldn't mind someone unpacking my suitcase and putting my things away. That would be really nice of them. And then how do you not see that?
Well, the room 401 at the Stanley Hotel is allegedly haunted as well. A male spirit, Lord Dunraven, guest report experience such as being touched, especially women in the closet.
Oh, I think they have
It's
they
a male.
I think also
Kelly's reported being touched early in the morning too.
God.
Not by a ghost. Okay.
I think that also they felt that someone gave them a kiss.
Yes.
And that person. I mean, those unpacking my suitcase and feeling like someone kissed you is kind of creepy, but nothing that's,
When we stayed in a room at the Elms Hotel, we talked about that with the guys the other
right.
day. And I was waiting for something to happen. Nothing happened. The rooms are
Thank
kind of
goodness
creepy,
nothing
though.
happened. I mean, that'd be the worst thing ever for
Yeah.
something to happen. So okay, so The Shining's based on the Stanley Hotel. All right.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Now, and that one, I think that one was horrifying just because of his face, and the kids couldn't go to sleep because apparently when they went to sleep, then that
Right, he came
monster with the
alive.
claws came alive.
Paranormal Activity.
Now that's scary, and I think what's scary about that, it's because that camera, they set it
Right.
up in like the bedroom.
Said it made
So
everybody afraid of their bedrooms and home cameras.
yeah, so to think of sleeping and knowing why you're sleeping, these things are going on. That
You know,
can
there's
kind of
one
get to
that's
you.
left off of this list
Okay, what would be that?
on all three categories.
All three categories.
All three
So
categories.
it could be family, could be terribly scary, and it could be a top scary movie. I'm confused on that one.
Yes.
Okay. Gonna
And
tell
the
us?
name, what is it about when you get
Wow.
old that things just leave your brain? They just leave your brain.
No, it's called brain rot. It's because they say that your brain, from the constant scrolling of social media and the constant
Oh
change,
my gosh, what is the
quickly
name of the movie?
cause
It's right on the top of my head.
Well,
I
you're
think it
gonna have to
starts with
give
a
us some
P.
sort of an example.
Remember the little midget lady? She was in their house
You're not
because
supposed to say midget, it's little
what's a
person.
little person. Okay, sorry.
Oh, there's
You're
a
jamming my
trilogy.
frequencies.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. So it did start with a P. I couldn't remember it. Poltergeist. That's a scary
It
movie.
was a really scary movie, actually.
And it's not on any of
And
these
you know what's
lists.
creepy about Poltergeist?
The girl died.
Every
Two of the
no,
girls died.
yes, the little girl that played in the movie, right? And lots of things happened to the people who starred in that movie.
Yeah.
I think that would be scary. Amityville Horror.
Amityville Horror's not on
That's
here.
way scarier than some of these movies that they've put on
The
there.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now that's scary.
But that's not
Psycho's
really,
on here.
that's not really
It
oh yeah, definitely.
and The Ring.
We were just talking about The Ring today. Remember that house on going in St. Charles when the girl has that dark black hair that kind of
Oh
comes over her
yeah,
face,
that's a swing.
sitting on a swing on the porch. The scary part about that, it was not Halloween when that was on the porch.
I think they just
Someone has a
they're like
sick
those
sense
people
of
that don't take
humor.
their Christmas lights down for 6 months.
That's a pretty scary thing to keep hanging up on your wall. So yeah, so I think Poltergeist. I think that they messed up missing that one. And then what did we just say that they missed? Poltergeist.
Poltergeist and see
Wow,
what
we should
happens.
probably stop.
We should just stop.
We should just.
We're gonna play a new game, and it's called "Please Insert the Missing Words."
So last night I went to the dinner, of course, which was funny because they invited you. I walk into the dinner at Capitol Grill, which was for
I
the
drop her
Liquid
off
Sisters,
at the
for the
front so
sponsors.
she can go in.
Yep, he goes to
I'm
park.
parking the
I
car.
walk in and there's 40 women and there's not a single man.
Kelly calls me and she goes, "Just go to Carbon.
Yeah.
Just go to Carbon.
You have no business
Enjoy your
coming here and
time."
sit down.
It was great. I
sit
did get to
between
go
the
to
women.
Carbon, and Carbon was a great time. I got to Don Sorensen, who's one of the owners, was there. Mike Claiborne, Cardinal from the Cardinals, was there as well, and we sat around and we talked about the Cardinals, the future of the Cardinals,
But you
and
completely stopped my story that I was
yeah.
talking about, but that's okay. I'm glad you had a
So
good
go
time
ahead.
with
So anyway,
everybody.
well,
So Jeanette, who is the co-chair for the event, is sitting next to me. The woman finished my sentence all night long. I asked her if
that's
she.
my job.
Okay, it is your job, but you're slacking on.
I'm
You can't even finish your own sentences. So that's what I was getting at.
I
Is
need
that
brain help.
I'm going to have to get another Ed McMahon to be on the show. Someone like Jeanette who can finish every sentence because we can't seem to get.
No.
And it's the time of the day too. Don't you think that this is that time of the day that you just need to have a cocktail and you need to unwind and relax and stay off any social media so you can
I
give
should take a
brain
nap
a nap,
before. Yeah, I should take a
rest.
nap. Yeah.
And this is our cocktail today. So we don't have it's a fake cocktail. It is again Celsius energy drink, which can keep our flow going, which apparently it's not working.
Right. And I
we
was
need someone in that chair right over there, or we need Grant, a Watts line to Grant in the production room to finish our sentence. He's young. He should be able to finish all of our sentences.
He should.
He should have.
He's probably in there doing it, going,
He probably
"Oh my
said,
gosh,
"Oh my God, these poor people! I don't know
man."
what the heck we're gonna do with them."
So we're gonna we're gonna start being sponsored by senior living memory care place.
Okay, so what I'm wanting this is the
What?
funniest part of what I'm
Was
talking
that
about right
what?
now.
Oh,
I can't even remember right now if we finished all the movies that we wanted
We
to talk
did.
about.
We
So
did.
we actually got through them then.
Yes,
All
we
right.
did.
You know what I find funny that this year with the scary movie or with Halloween, there really isn't any new movies hitting the box office. The Conjuring, which isn't hitting for Halloween, it's out right now, which we've not watched, which I guess is somewhat based on the couple who believes that objects are haunted and then they keep these, which is true, these
Right.
objects in a certain museum. Now, what I do find scary, and
Black Phone is out. Black Phone is the
that's
new
the
one.
only one.
Yeah.
The rest of them are more cartoonish type,
It's
animated.
scary.
I call it a cartoon.
I guess you do call those like Halloween movies, even though they're about a psycho serial
Yeah, just a
killer.
psycho person. But he's not like a person like us being he's a monster.
Right.
You know, a devilish, I guess, character that plays the role. Can we? Okay, we only have a few minutes, and this is kind of scary. Not kind of, it's very scary. And is the Etsy. And I feel like I'm whispering because I don't know if I should talk about it because it's so scary. The voodoo doll, the doll that apparently was you can get a witch to do a spell apparently through Etsy, and that was apparently done.
Yeah, apparently
I mean, we say allegedly and apparently because I don't have facts. It's just going around like everything
Apparently,
else
some
is,
woman contacted a witch,
and made a curse through a
a
doll.
curse on Charlie Kirk
Yes.
2 weeks before he
And I
was
keep
killed.
still talking in a whisper like it's a secret because I don't feel like I should give it merit. But it is a very scary thing to think that people could do things like that.
I thought all you could
Should
do was like buy products on Etsy. I didn't know, or
you can hire a witch?
yeah. Is Etsy like the Craigslist of today or something?
I'm
I
not
mean, because I
sure.
mean that's where you would go to Craigslist to find something like that. You know, you go to
Maybe so. But New Orleans, I mean, they're known for, big time
witchcraft and
witchcraft and voodoo and, making the dolls and the different things like that. So if I get a pain in my butt, someone's got a doll and they're poking me with a pen.
go in Kelly's closet. She's got a doll of me with a pen in its butt.
But I mean, think of that. I mean, our internet is not, obviously, it's not very, there's a lot of things on there you can learn to do and order that probably shouldn't be out there.
And should we have
In
government regulations on things like that?
Well, I think there is, but I just think it's so big and there's so much. They have teams that are pulling the pornography, and obviously they're looking first and
They're not
foremost
doing
for
a good job.
children.
Facebook's horrible. I mean, we've
Well,
talked about this before. Facebook's horrible. I mean, you get ED commercials that pop up on your phone and stuff that are almost pornographic.
I think they
They are
are
pornographic.
actually. They
Yeah.
are
And
actually.
it's like,
Because
really?
ED is not pornographic. Some people need help or what
Right.
with that. But
And it's all these, speaking of witch doctors, it's all of these stupid products that, you know, don't work. I mean, it's just stupid stuff.
no, there's a lot. I mean, definitely a lot of stuff. I mean, they're still having. It's moving so fast.
You
It's
can't
just
keep
moving
up
so
with it.
quickly.
Yeah.
They can't keep up with it. I'm sure they'd like to, but they just like AI, that's moving so quickly and growing so fast. They obviously can't keep up. And
Have you noticed the amount of, what's it called, Sora
Yes, and I don't think people
videos?
realize, because I just learned within probably the last week or two, and I might be late to the party as I always am, that is an AI video source. But what I can understand because I'm always the one that likes to look at people's comments when there's a video. I want to know how they react to this video or what someone's saying. And there is a new AI product called Sora that you can just tell it what you want to do. So I could put a picture of you and say, make it, and it will create a video. It created Olive, which is very,
Skateboarding.
not going to hurt anybody, but it's Olive, our bulldog, skateboarding, and it is very real looking. Now, if
Even
you
though all she
watch
wants
it,
to do is eat it.
yeah, what you can watch for is a lot of times in these videos, something will go through something, like their hand will go through a
Right.
table, or the person will walk through. Because it's not that great yet, but they're pretty right on. I mean, so you don't know these videos that are out there with, either the president or an animal like a deer crushing someone's Halloween
The new,
decor. It's under
yeah, the
Sora,
new
it's
ones are
fake.
the Halloween porches,
Yeah,
with like a raccoon trying to steal the candy and it's
right.
getting scared. And it's
So
like,
there's
oh, stop.
no
Or a
labels that,
bear, a little boy playing with a bear on the
yeah,
front
or
porch.
that old woman that comes up to the door and she's trying to get in her house, and a cougar, takes her down to the ground, and you're thinking she's going to be eaten alive by this lion.
I did enjoy the woman in the stands at a football game or a baseball game, and the guy nails her with the gun that shoots the t-shirts out. Remember that one?
Oh, so that was fake. See,
Yeah,
I
it was
don't.
another
It was an
Sora.
older woman. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, but yeah. So there's different Soras. Sora's one of them. There's actually another one too. So those videos will actually show the logo on there, and if you're familiar with it, you'll know that it's fake. But a lot of people, by the comments, they didn't know that it's fake, but by the
Right.
responses to it. So, I mean, it is, and it's growing by leaps and bounds, all of this AI, and we really truly don't know what's real and fake. And I think there was a slight minute out there, but of course we know it was real. The couple, that got caught that were cheating,
Yeah,
tried to say that was like enhanced and it wasn't real, but
yeah,
we know that it was because of
yeah.
it came out.
Nice try.
The girl videoed it
Yeah.
that actually been interviewed for it. But I don't know. I don't know how we survive all the fake media. Are you looking for something, or are you just bored and need to text somebody?
No, I was trying to look up something. I'm still trying to find that name for you because
Oh, thank you. Well, we're going to be going to commercial break here. So during the commercial break,
yeah,
I can make sure, because I do want to give credit to the speaker, but there is top security and her name isn't everywhere. There was security at the event, security at the dinner last
maybe you
night.
shouldn't say it.
No, of course we can. She is a CEO of, what is it? SIS NSC. It's top security. She is the CEO of 24,000 employees, this woman.
24,000?
Yes. I mean, she
That's
has
quite a responsibility.
quite a position that she has, and the fact that she is a Army brat. Her father, 41 years, top in the Army.
Tony Towns Whitley, is that it?
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. So Tony Towns Whitley, incredible woman, brilliantly smart, but very witty and funny at the same time. Where it was just like they read her bio before she went up on stage, and as she's walking up, her mic's on, and she's like, wow, I want to meet this person. She sounds incredible. But our bios always sound so great. But she was very funny in the midst of what is happening in the White House and the shutdown and all the things that she's part of. She stayed on top of her game, was very funny, kept everybody awake and alive. And that's what you can only hope for when you're with a speaker, that,
Right.
you can go in with some nuggets and be touched. I was so touched by her, I can't even remember her name. So with that, we are going to take it to a break. Don't go anywhere. In Your City Show, we got a great guest coming up that we're going to interview, talk about all that they are doing and how you can get involved. Or if you know somebody that might need their services, you're not going to want to miss it. So we'll be right back with more right here on the In Your City Show. audience here right now, and we just got a big applause. So, welcome back to the In Your City show. Before we get started with our lovely guest, I want to give a big shout out to Jennifer Williams. We love always talking about her because we appreciate her. She's all about supporting local, and Jennifer Williams owns the St. Louis Closet Company. They're over there on Big Bend. Gorgeous showroom, plenty of areas for you to walk through that can give you ideas. They're always coming up with new concepts, new colors, new things that are happening. The great thing about it is when you meet them, it's not a one size fits all. And if you get a project by them, or I should say, when you get your project, they actually do everything in house. So everything is locally manufactured right there on site. Never missed an appointment. I love saying that. I love that her motto is to take you from chaos to calm. So if you're ready to make a change in your home, whether it's a little bitty tiny closet or room or a great big area to a studio, Jennifer can do it for you and help you to bring some calmness. There's nothing better than getting organized and being able to find things. It's absolutely incredible. So there you go. Everything tailored to you. That St. Louis Closet Company. All right. So here we go. Our guest, Karen Kirk, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I love talking about Lydia's house. It was before I even knew Gordon. I want to say it was out at one of the wineries. There was an event and I was the MC. And that's when I first heard about Lydia's house. It was a long time ago.
Nice.
How long has Lydia's house been around?
Actually, it's 30 years this year.
Wasn't that long ago, but it was maybe a good 20 years. So
Yeah.
15, what, maybe 18. I don't know. I was in radio and that, so it's been a long time ago, but it was really nice. And that's when I got to hear about Lydia's house. And there's probably a lot of people that don't know what Lydia's house is about. So tell us what Lydia's house is.
Sure. So, as you can imagine, domestic violence impacts millions of people every year.
Sadly, it does.
Devastating effects, financial stability, their health, their well being. So, Lydia's house is here for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia's house is a transitional housing program after shelter stay. Shelter stays 30 to 60 days. And if you can think about if you had to leave right now and go grab something in your arms to get out because you're not safe,
Mm-hmm.
how is it possible for women to get back on their feet in 30
Yeah.
to 60 days? Love our shelters in St. Louis. They do a great job because they're that first immediate safety. But after that, that's where Lydia's house comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia's house is a nonprofit organization, and we provide safe, confidentially located housing for abused women and their children who are victims of domestic violence.
I mean, it says in 1 year that you've provided 29,000 nights.
Isn't that just a
Terrifying.
yeah,
It's so sad to think that so many people out there, not everybody has a family they can go to. Sometimes they don't want to put their family in risk as
Right.
well, because it's terrifying when you're in that position. And a lot of times we might stereotype and think, oh, that's someone who gets abused. I mean, sometimes there's high-powered corporate women
Of
that you
course.
think are these incredibly strong human beings, but at home is a whole nother story. Now, do you ever have, I mean, I don't know if this is a weird question or not, but
No.
I know it's for women. Are there ever men that need
I
your
love that
help?
question,
Okay,
right?
because it seems like,
Yeah, we serve
but
all
that happens
individuals,
too.
If
but
you listen to the
mostly
comedian, we know he talks about his wife.
Don't make a joke with that. He calls her
It's
Captain
okay.
Evil. It's absolutely hilarious. And she's not
No,
really,
okay.
she's not really of domestic
I
violence. You just stay over there and do your pressing buttons.
We got this,
You know
right?
this conversation, Gordon.
Yeah, so
I go back to the controls.
there's 1 in 4 women, but it's really 1 in 3 women are affected by domestic violence. But men, it's 1 in 4 and 1 in 7. You kind of see both numbers.
Really?
But the difference to us is, of course, we serve all women and children, but we
Okay.
would serve all individuals if needed. But it's interesting that when men call in, they want a more, how do I safety plan? How do I get to counseling? Where's therapy?
That's,
They don't tend to want the housing like women do.
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why. Sometimes we think maybe the income difference in some families
Maybe,
and maybe
yeah.
not. But it's interesting. So we mostly serve women and their children. So you'll always hear me say women and their children, but we take all kind of calls and whatever, the need is.
I'm
we
sure for a man
try to
too,
address
it's
it.
got to be when you say a safety thing, it's got to be a safety thing so he doesn't overreact and do something he shouldn't, and then it becomes a domestic
Well,
thing on him,
not always. Sometimes
right?
there are women
Because
out there that are violent.
They are.
Right,
know?
We
right.
find it both ways.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like men will stop where, okay, give me resources, where women are like, I need everything. What can you do to help me? And that's where we
Yeah.
take our comprehensive strategy with our advocates, that we wrap these families or these women and their children or all individuals into case management resources.
Mhm.
And the great thing about St. Louis is we're one of the greatest cities in the United States. There's so many resources out there. So we have them, we find them. So we wrap that individual need in that system for 2 years so they can get to safe, independent living and become a part of our community again and feel good and live safe.
You know, it's such a difficult place to be because most of the time when you're in an abusive situation, there's such manipulation and brainwashing. Sometimes it's very difficult for the women to even realize that sometimes they think it's their fault.
Right.
What have they done? They've been told so much that it is their fault, that they can't survive without that other person, that or they're cut off from the money,
Mhm.
or maybe there isn't much
Their
money.
family.
They don't have family. Sometimes they're very embarrassed from it as well.
Yes.
That's an embarrassing situation to be in. How many times you see someone maybe come in, a coworker or a friend, and they have a broken arm or a black eye or things happening. They fall down the steps. They tripped over their kids' toys. You know, there's story after story after story, and that's got to be really difficult. How you can get to the women. Like, are there symptoms that you put out there for a woman to know that this might be you? Because I don't know sometimes if they actually realize it, especially if they came, a lot of times abused women come from an abusive home life growing up,
Sure.
right? So they think this is the way it's supposed to be. And it's so shocking to find out that it is not supposed to be like that.
No,
You are not supposed to be afraid in your home.
you are not. But how it starts, I mean, it
Okay.
can be a snap, right? You cannot see it coming.
Yes.
And sometimes none of your family members see it at all. But what happens is it starts with the power and control because
Mhm.
that's what domestic violence is all about.
Right.
So sometimes they just control a little bit, get a little used to it. Oh, they had a bad day. They were drinking. They were out late. They're having
Mhm.
problems at their job. It's okay. It'll be okay. I can fix this. You know, women
Right.
always want to fix things.
Right.
And so then it gets a little worse. And then it's almost like you get used to it and it gets
Yes.
bigger and bigger and
When
bigger.
children are involved, you
Oh,
also don't want to leave
goodness.
the home because you have them.
Right.
What are you going to do?
I
You have
love
these
that
kids.
because there's so many barriers, right? It's such a falsehood when people say, if that was me, I would leave immediately. If
Oh, it's
they
so easy to
touched me, if
say,
they
isn't
hurt,
it?
it's such a falsehood and it does the wrong thing and you're not supporting victims who really need
Right.
help. And so what happens is there's so many barriers. You know, why don't women leave? Not I would leave. It's why don't women leave? Let's try to understand that. Well, first of all, domestic violence covers all socioeconomic backgrounds.
Mhm.
You can live in poverty. You can live at a high
Very
income rate,
wealthy.
right? No race, no gender, no socioeconomic anything. It's the same at this level that it is at that level, but it looks a little different, right?
Mhm.
The more it's in silence, the less you think it's there, but it's still there.
Right.
So they don't leave, number one, because this is my family. This is my home. These are my children's shelter where they go to bed every night. This is their school system. These are their friends.
And they think they love them sometimes as
Oh,
well. The
you know what?
manipulation is so strong.
The love is the hardest part to get away from, right? Because it's known that women leave 8 or 9 times before they permanently leave the abuser.
Yes.
But what we know and what we see is the more times they go back, the more likely they are to be killed, right? So it's hard for them to
And they're
detach.
also
Victims
told
to
that
detach.
sometimes too. If you leave, I will
Constantly.
kill
It's a
you.
threat, right? There's all different kinds. People sometimes think, another falsehood, that domestic violence is just bruises.
Mhm.
It's not. It's physical, it's psychological, it's emotional, it's financial.
Mental's
Some women,
actually almost worse because you're
yes,
so brainwashed and manipulated. That already has you.
yeah, and
Do those some of those characteristics you talk about, like financial
yeah,
and all those other things? Do those happen first and then it gets worse? Like a financial thing, it could be just a hidden problem,
yeah. It could
with the
just be that
finances or
controlling the
something,
money because
controlling the
how
money, and
much
then
food you're allowed to
next
buy
thing you
that
know,
week.
does it happen in steps sometimes to where it's like
It
it starts
does.
here and then it gets a little bit
It
bigger
does.
I've
and then it
heard women
grows?
I've heard women say that
Yeah.
nothing, and when they got married, it just like all
Right.
started happening. It was like
Sometimes
this
they get
control
married
factor.
and then all of a sudden they don't realize that they're under control because now it's a little more tight
Right.
of a space, right? So they start controlling everything. There's so many red flags, tracking your phone. Where were you? They become very possessive. They become jealous.
Uh-oh, you were checking my life app, Gordon.
I was, uh-oh.
No.
The biggest thing we see is like if you notice someone starting to become isolated in your family, like
Yeah.
they're not showing up for family dinners. Hey, we used to go out for pizza every Friday night. They're not showing up. Why? They're not giving us reasons or they're making excuses all the
Mhm.
time. So the isolation becomes very big because the more someone isolates you, the more control they have on you. And then you see the things just start building up.
Well,
Kelley,
and they,
oh, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. They isolate you from your friends. They
Yes.
start to say they make things up that your friends don't like you and your family. I mean, they start to work on you where you don't want to be with your own family and friends because again, that mind, that manipulation, the possessiveness that they have.
Right.
And then a lot of times too, that person's family, the abuser's family, will enable the abuser and tell the woman,
sure.
well, you don't want anybody to know, keep that silent.
That's right.
And they protect their own son to keep from anybody finding out. So you really feel alone in the situation. No family, no friends, and then the other family is telling you what to do.
They do. And it's just amazing. Like when we wake up in the morning, I mean, there are 3 women in the United States every day, 3+ that lose their lives every single
Every
day.
day.
And when you think about the
Terrifying.
stats, and I always hate to just do stats, but they're
Well,
very
it wakes you up when
powerful,
you hear the
right?
stats, though, Karen. It
Yeah,
really shows how meaningful it is to know what you're doing and for these people to find these resources because it is such a huge problem.
every 9 seconds, a woman is hit or beaten in the United States.
It's one of the worst things for police officers, domestic violence. How many
80% of their
officers have been
calls
shot or killed
at the door
because,
trying to help
yes,
someone, right?
I follow like this police scanner, St. Charles police scanner on my
Yes,
Facebook page. Just recently in St. Charles, it happened.
that's right.
And they had to kill the husband. The police
Mm.
had to kill the husband. He came after him. They showed up and he kept coming after him with a knife and they wouldn't stop and
That's
they had
right.
to kill him.
I did not know
I
that.
kind of understand from many that we talk to about 80% of their calls are domestic violence. That's huge. I
Yes.
mean,
And it always turns on the police
it always does because
because
they're
then
the
the wife
first
all of a sudden
responder, right?
takes his side
Yeah.
again. It's like she
Yes.
sides with him over
Because
the
then
police.
they all of a sudden start to get afraid
Right.
Right?
if they don't want to tell on them because
So
they're going to come back home.
right. So what we do is when we talk to police officers, and many of them know this already, but we just make sure, they go to a call, but the abuser's standing right there.
Mhm.
Instead of taking the abuser away somewhere else so they can talk to that victim, that abuser is still controlling just being in that
Oh,
space while
yeah.
the police
Eye
officer's there.
contact. Right.
And even just like hospitals and emergency rooms, they've known, but many of them are learning that we need to remove the abuser because they may come up and say, oh, my wife fell down the steps.
Oh, yeah.
And they're in that room with that patient, and that abuser's standing there controlling what she says because she knows if she goes home, she may lose her life or the kids may get hurt.
Yes.
And that's the unique opportunity that Lydia's house has. Not only are we trying to help victims of domestic violence, but here we have their children who have grown up in a domestic violence household. So we have this unique opportunity to
Mm.
break the cycle of violence for those children. And there's 10 million children a year that witness this.
Oh, and just imagine what they're going through. This is Domestic Violence Awareness Month,
It
right? In
is.
October,
Mhm.
which is wonderful that you're doing it. Do you find that the numbers are actually, we're in a very stressful time right now. The constant political battles, the higher prices, the cost of living. There's always been stress, but there's a lot of stress in the environment right now, which gives no excuse for abuse. But it may tend somebody to drink more or to react differently than maybe they would have because of the environment, which there's no
Absolutely.
excuse.
No, there's
Never.
no excuse, but we do see it in financially stressful times through the holidays.
Mhm.
We see it when the temperature rises. We see it when there's lots of job loss, layoffs, the crisis calls lately, and we're not even a crisis call center,
Yeah.
but it's just enormous. And you say, how do you solve this issue? We're not going to solve it in our generation,
Mhm.
right? But what we need to do is we need to get down to the education level because you and I both know that unless you talk about it, unless you have education to solve it, no problems get solved without talking and education about it.
Right.
So we need to start at a younger level, at their age level, to start teaching what power and control looks like. Look at all the technology we have. You can find anybody You know,
Right.
so that's another thing. They can start
Yes.
tracking every move you make,
Yes.
every dollar that you spend, or they control you and they don't let you work. They don't let you have friends. You know, they continue to have pregnancies constantly because that's part of it too. And we see everything. You think you've seen the worst, and then there's the worst.
Hmm.
You know, and that's what's
It's not just a
horrible.
Is there
fighter.
such a thing as so domestic violence? Is there such a thing though as to where, just educate me, can they fix the relationship where you catch it early? Maybe you catch it early, and then maybe it was something that either party, whether it's the wife or the husband, but do you guys, or do you have any resources for people to where they
Yeah.
can go to classes, where they can go
Such a
somewhere?
sensitive subject. I mean, that's
No, I
a
mean,
great
it is, because
question.
you want to get, a lot of times it's like the only solution is just get away.
Yeah, you hope that somebody speaks up, or you hope that that
Yeah.
partnership, that they recognize it, because if they recognize it early, therapy, of course, you know, but once we know that it's at a higher level, generally you're hard to pull back to say that person's
And you
never going
usually
to
don't
be an
get called
abuser
till it's
again.
past that point, probably, right?
You know what? We get early calls too. You know, we talk to them about safety planning. Like, if you think something's wrong, let's go ahead and safety plan with you. What does that look like? Well, every woman or individual needs to have the set of documents, you know, your social security card, your license, your insurance, your bank account information, because we see abusers shut down joint accounts all the time, and then the victim has nothing when they leave.
Hmm.
They might have had, you know, decent funds, but now they have nothing.
Well,
So when they come to Lydia's house, they're living in poverty.
Also, if they have children, that's
Mhm.
also a difficult
Oh,
situation, because the other the parent
yes.
can, if the children are taken from them, they can consider that kidnapping. So there's really some very delicate fine lines, isn't there?
Hard for what we do, right? So
Yeah.
the woman and the children come to us, right? But we have to abide by the court. We have to abide by the law. And as long as he is not, you know, physically abusing the children and there's not written proof of that, we have to let the children go
Mhm.
back to that abuser, like
Oh my
50-50
gosh.
custody, until it goes to court.
Wow.
Once it goes to court, and then we have the documentation that, you know, this individual who's the survivor has full custody, then we don't have to do that. We don't hide children. We don't do that. We tell victims coming in that you have to abide by the court, and we have to hope that you are doing that.
We do need better systems, that's for sure. And there's way too many women out there that are suffering in situations that are absolutely terrifying. And I'm thrilled that somebody like you is out there. So basically, there's shelters. You have, if someone needed to call the Lydia's house,
Mhm.
you would have some names for them to be able to get a hold of. Because first they'll go to
Absolutely.
that. Then the Lydia's house is that after, that's going to help them to have a place to live and prepare them to move on to a better life, get
Yeah.
that help
Further their
mentally, and
education,
yes.
increase their employment, their fund, you know, the funds that they're going to have. We connect them to every resource in St. Louis that they might need in the future.
Mhm.
So when they leave Lydia's house, they're already connected. They don't have to connect themselves. We also have a full-blown medical clinic inside of Lydia's
Oh
house.
gosh.
And the one thing that I'm proud
great.
of is women used to have to go to the emergency room. Probably the worst place they had to go to, not because of the emergency room, but that's when they were hurt the most.
Mhm.
They're really fearful to go back because the trauma just overtakes them.
Sure.
So now we have a medical clinic, and we have for, I don't know, about 8 years now. And women can do well women care, because sometimes they come to us and they've been cut off of any medical care for years, some decades. Some have never had prenatal care. And so they can come to our medical clinic for free, and as they live with Lydia's house, and have childhood vaccinations that are not caught up, children that are sick. We avoid them having to go to the ER and spend the whole night there just because of an earache.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it also saves our advocates who need to be on the job all the time and not sitting in an ER
Right.
with a family.
Well, before we run out of time, I can't
Yeah.
believe how fast this went by. First of all, family, friends, recognize if something has changed with your family or friend. If you notice them not showing up, or you're noticing bruises, or you're noticing things on them, please don't ignore it. Do something about it. Thank you to Lydia's house. If there's a way to support, to give back, to be part of it, to help, at lydiashouse.org.
It's lydiashouse.org, and I just want to let you know that we
Yes.
are pet friendly, breaking another
Yes, I
barrier
did see
that
that.
keeps women and children from leaving the abuser. So we're really super excited to be in partnership with Purina doing that.
Before we run out of time,
Yes.
is there something coming up or anything quickly to be a part of?
Yes, so we have our gala coming up in February. Go to our website. All the events
Okay.
are there. Great way to support us, talk to us, and we will let
Clothes, baby things, anything like
wish
that
list, it's
also?
always on the
Okay,
website.
because
So
that's
look
really,
at the
there's
wish
a
list.
lot that a family needs when they're left.
Food, gift cards right now because food is so expensive. That's very helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Karen Kirk with the Lydia's House. We appreciate you being here. And again, make sure if there's someone in your family or friend doesn't seem right, don't ignore it.
1-800-799-SAFE.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, again, we're out of time. We want to say to everybody, thank you for tuning into the In Your City show at the Lou Information Station. Until our next show, we always want to say to you, cheers.
Cheers.